Hey Gemini, how y'all doing? Welcome. We're going to be doing your first half of June general reading here. Let's talk about your meditation. I saw a spider, okay? A spider in a web. And I heard, have you ever noticed how you never see two spiders in a web at a time? It's one. And then I heard, if my foundation is strong, then I can handle whatever comes my way. If my foundation is strong, I can handle whatever comes my way. And I saw this image of, I do feel like the Gemini collective was being represented by said spider in the middle of this web, and it was securing over and over and over. The center point of this web is very, very strong. And then I saw the rest of the web sort of ebb and flow around different stimuli and given circumstances and choices and movements and you know, all of the things basically out of the quote control of the Gemini collective as repped by this spider energy. And it's fascinating, because I did see this image of like a tree with its roots and how you're really working on a stable foundation, right? Because again, it's that idea of a tree that has strong and firm roots, can weather any storm. But the way to get through the storm isn't to resist it and thus leave yourself open to, you know, the breakage of branches, but to go with it, right? Be bendable, be flexible. And again, as long as that foundation is firm and those roots are strong, you can handle and weather whatever. And maybe enjoy it even. The winds of change, I just heard. Happy birthday season, by the way. You know, spider energy also speaks of being there for yourself as much as you're there for others. It's about doing both equally as much and equally as well. And that, let me tell you something, that's a beautiful energy when you can tap into it, right? And it can be elusive. I just, you know, like truth. It can be very elusive. And some of us are better at giving than receiving. Some of us are better at receiving than giving. Spider energy is very much having a balance between the two, and how good that feels when you're giving to yourself as much as you're giving to others and vice versa. So, all right, let's see what comes up for you guys. But I also heard alone time. Okay, so I'm really hearing that it's important to strengthen your own foundation and get your web the way that you like it. Right? There's this feeling of preparedness that I'm tapping into. And the more prepared you are and the more time that you take to really prepare your space, your mental body, your physical body, your emotional body, whatever that is, and creatively work through any sort of conflict or obstacles or any points of focus of which the answers may have previously eluded you. It's about creative solutions to problems is what I'm tapping into. Creative solutions. Gemini, you are absolutely able to do this, especially as an air sign, but also being the twins, right? Because a Gemini in alignment is someone who can see, you know, both sides to an argument or see every single angle or perspective, right? And then marry the two together for a, you know, greater perspective and thus a greater outcome, right? That's why Geminis in alignment make such good counselors, you know? Whew, okay. There's this myth about Geminis being, you know, having a split personality or having like a dark twin or whatever. I mean, if that resonates, live your life. But I always feel that that's a bit of a, I don't know if I've always agreed with that. I feel like maybe that's like a Gemini out of alignment or with no self-work. But an evolved Gemini, or a Gemini who, you know, puts in the good self-work, as it were, it's not about having a split personality. It's just about having an advanced perspective, okay? All right, let's see what your animal energy is for first half of June. Let's do it. Ooh, yes, Lord. Okay. Boom, we got the cosmic egg here. Let's just take a moment because this is so good. Okay, so this correlates to the world key in the tarot, which is about the happy completion of a given cycle, right? And I love that this is coming up during your birthday season, because your birthday season, you know, acts as your own personal new year, right? Where it's a time to really review how things have been and go, what do I want to bring in to my new year? And what do I want to leave behind, right? But it's really about giving yourself the time and space and stillness in which to really discern that for yourself, right? Nobody else is going to be able to discern that for you. You know, it's really about taking the time to do that. You know, I'm also drawn to the fact that, you know, this egg here, and back to that spider's web and the circular aspect we have here, this circle up here represents that of spirit energy. You know, this is also very much telling me that there is this beautiful energy here of you can accept this opportunity, the energy as it is right now in the collective Gemini energy, right? You can take this opportunity and close out cycles that wanted to be closed out so that you can attract towards you the good and the new that wants to be yours. It wants you so badly, Gemini. But if you're holding too much from the past, some of which is no longer working for you, it can't come to you. That's how it works, right? You can't manifest from full hands, right? You have to have some room, right? It's that whole Marie Kondo thing, is it not? It really, really is. And what a beautiful time and energy with which to do that in 2020 right now, right? I'm so obsessed that this came up for you also. I want to point this out. You know, the snake, beautiful, 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 is about transformation and change. It's so beautifully depicted here. This also represents the birth of the philosopher. This is based on a illustration by Jacob Bryant. I believe it's from 1776 or so, which was, it's such a beautiful sort of point to this feeling of looking to the past, because I like that this is like from a very old illustration that's coming up right now that's so pertinent today, right? It's like looking to the past to sort of inform from a place of discernment and going, how did I get from A to W? Not A to B. Like, and that's funny because the collective Gemini reading I just did, or the collective reading for Gemini season, I should say, was very much about like living out the where you are in any given moment, like completing the A point before the B point appears to you, and then going to the B point, completing that point, then the C point, right? But this very much feels a lot more all-encompassing for you guys, which I reckon makes sense because it is your new year. But you're very much, why am I seeing a Christmas Carol? The ghosts, what is that? The the Christmas ghosts of past, present, and future. You're being asked to take yourself on your own journey of the past, the present, and the future, and to look at it all from that broader perspective, like that of the spider within its web, so you can get this foundation really secure before you venture off into the rest of your new year, right? It's beautiful. Also, what I was going to say, when snakes are shedding their skin, their eyes become cloudy, so they can't see very well, which means that they have to use their other senses. Their other senses grow more heightened at that time so that they can protect themselves from any predators or whatever have you. There's something to that. I feel like the key here is you're being asked to use your clairsentience, your feelings, more than your sight or looking at things from a logical standpoint. Go on your feelings is what I'm hearing, right? Be honest with yourself. How have things made you feel? How have choices made you feel? How have people made you feel? Now, it's true that we're all responsible for, our own feelings, but we can be honest about, I feel this way, but then when I talk to this person, I feel not so great after. Or wow, when this person walks into the room, I feel like the temperature drops 10 degrees. Get clear on that and be honest with yourself around that, right? Remember, you can't manifest newness with full hands, right? 7 of Wands. Absolutely no surprise that this is coming up here. This is that my bigger than my body gives me credit for key about, really putting in the work and discernment and effort. I want to point this out. Again, back to the spider web and this cosmic egg, circle realness here. Look at this circle that this is creating. By force of her own will and effort, she is taking control of her own given circumstances and being her own luck. Be your own good luck. Because see these cards here, they represent, luck and chance, right? Like a game of cards. Be your own luck. Make your own luck, right? That's what it is. There's this feeling of like, maybe there was a time to be in a place of receiving and allow, opportunity to come to you. Make your own luck. It's up to you. It really, really is. We got the Lovers at the bottom here. How dare you come up in your own reading? No, I love this. And you know what? This is a good point because the Lovers represent choices in love, right? So tying in with your natural key there, right? It is about your own choices and making your own luck right now. It's really beautiful. So we have the King of Cups here. What did I literally just say about trusting your feelings around things as opposed to your logic, your intellect, or whatever have you? Well, okay. Also, do these not look like fabulous golden snakes? Remind me of Hermes, actually, the god Hermes, messenger. Because I feel like he had a staff with snakes on it. Interesting. Okay, so the King of Cups is brilliant because unlike his counterpart, the Queen of Cups, who's fabulous in her own right, but sometimes she feels things to the point where it kind of overrules her and she can't quite get a grip on it, right? It's hard out here for a Queen of Cups. But a King of Cups is able to sit right on top of those emotions, meaning he has access to them, right? But he is in, and I'm not a huge fan of the word control, okay? But why do I feel like it's so pertinent? I'm going to use it, okay? He has control or facility around his emotions. He has access to them, right? But they don't ever overrun him or misinform him. You know, what do I like to say? That our emotions are the gas that fuels our intuition. And if our emotions are askew or not tended to or ignored or pushed down or cast aside, then our intuition will be askew, ignored, pushed down, and cast aside. That's just how it works, right? You see, I'm really drawn to these stormy clouds in the background here. Why do I feel like there's some emotions here that have been on cue for a while? I'm going to cue this emotion. I'm going to feel this later. I see you keep adding things to the queue, and it feels like an emotional queue of relationships that you know, maybe have reached, you know, a point where there's some change that wants to be made within and through them, or realization that wants to be made around why you manifested a certain relationship to you, what a certain relationship taught you. Right? But it really feels like you've been queuing some emotions here in favor of, you know, maybe other 3D concerns and pursuits. And that's fine and that's good and that's well. But you have an opportunity here with the cosmic egg in your new year. Remember, this is the world key to move into a brand fresh new cycle where there's I feel a lot of abundance. And I feel, you know what? I want to say reciprocity because I feel a lot of reciprocal relationships that want to come to you. But do you see how his hands are full? You see that? And do you see how he's focusing on the cards and not the cup? And see how her hands are full? Okay, what else is going on, my lovely Gemini? I'm telling you, what wants to come through to you right now is so good. You're going to be glad that you made room for it. But I'm really hearing you to take the time to do this. Listen, are emotions always a good time? No. No, they're not. Especially as a fellow air sign, I understand this, right? Please hear me. I do. I get it. But it's one of those things where if emotions are queued up and not, you know, given attention and room and time to breathe and sit and transmute and transform and all of that good stuff, it turns into something like a bit of a Queen of Cups where it can start working against you. And you start operating from a place of reaction as opposed to response. So if you notice yourself reacting as opposed to responding, that's because your emotions are queued up and haven't been dealt with, and you keep pressing snooze. Okay? 5 of Cups, you don't say. So, well, this is spot on, ain't it, though? So 5 of Cups, traditionally speaking, you know, I love this fuchsia curtain, though, that's like, hey, this is a bit of a bummer, but look at the pretty curtains. Just saying, because it's the color of the heart chakra, right? So 5 of Cups traditionally is it's feelings of loss, right? I've got these 2 full cups down here. This is what's working. This is what I have to be grateful for in my life. But I'm up here trying to grab onto these spilt cups, right? And a drip drip. This is like she's, it's interesting because there is a lot here that I'm picking up on to be grateful for. But again, it's these cute emotions that I'm really picking up on here. You see how she has one hand that's down here? It's like it could go towards these cups. And then she has one hand here. It feels like a split focus. Please let go of aspects of yourself, relationships, thoughts, given circumstances that have reached their expiration date. Okay? Okay. Seven of Wands. You see how I'm really drawn to these curtains and how she's on this stage. I feel like you're being asked to look at certain things that you haven't looked at or even thought to look at. Why would you avoid it is the question. Seven of Wands. Oh yeah. Knight of Swords, yes. Knight of Swords, okay. Do you see what I see? So Knight of Swords, air energy here. I like that you came up here, Gemini. This is a fast incoming truth. This is communication that can be a little blunt, okay? A little blunt. It can also be communication where it's like verbal vomit, where you sit on something for a long time, and then when it finally comes out, it comes out without as much tact as it would have had you maybe released it to the light and given it room to breathe an expression earlier. See, do you see what I'm seeing here? This is a maximum amount of effort and forward movement, right? I feel like this is saying, stay vigilant, use your words. This horse does not go in reverse. And I feel, why do I feel like that's part of the hesitancy here? I feel like there's some sort of, well, if I move ahead and release myself of what I need to say, or if I unburden these thoughts or feelings, or if I recycle this and let go of this and bring in this or make this change, or look at this aspect of myself or others that I haven't wanted to look at, what will I have left at the end of it? What if I see something that I don't want to let go of? Well, what if you see something that once you let go of, you're able to manifest something much, much better? Here's what I want to say to you. You are not at the same vibration that you were last year. That's what's coming through. You are not now at the same vibration that you were last year in 2019. I'm going to take it back to 2019. But why does it feel like 2019, I want to say, is like the stale crust on your sandwich right now? Why do I want to say that? I feel like this is something you're being asked to do with and for yourself. I really, really do. You see this house on fire? It's that blunt communication we're talking about. But it's also, see this repeated pattern of endings with the cosmic egg here, so that needs to be, yeah, yes, there are things and people and patterns that want to be released, right? Release it. There's good energy around this to do so, okay? Remember what I said before. In the meditation, if your roots and foundation are strong, you can withstand any change or any storm. I'm not saying a storm is coming. I'm saying that the only constant is change, and it's about setting yourself to receive great things, because receiving new wonderful things is also change, isn't it? Not all change is negative or unwelcome, right? Hello and goodbye. With the sun, are you serious, Gemini? This is the happiest key in the whole deck. And it showed up for your reading to clarify the King of Cups. Do you remember what I said? Those emotions on cue, having access to them without letting them put you in a place of responding, or without letting them put you in a place of reacting over responding, rather. The sun is illumination, warmth, and truth, getting very clear so that you can move on ahead into your highest and best life, right? Again, with this gold here, you know, why do I keep getting Hermes, the god of the messenger god? I keep getting Hermes, winged feet. Oh, and the feather. Okay, winged feet. I do feel like there is a distinct lightness of being that comes as a result of this clarity and shedding this skin and releasing, so that you could listen. What comes after the cosmic egg? What comes after the world? The Fool. The Fool is the best energy. The Fool is also a child energy, a new energy, right? Again, with this little baby riding on this white horse here. Also, notice this. See how this is storyboarding? Rushing forward ahead, getting clear, cutting away what no longer serves. Let the houses burn that want to be burned. Stop trying to reconstruct it or have it be, half and keep dousing it out and going back to it. Just let it go, let it be burned, which takes you into the bright light and the fun heat of the sun, right? SPF recommended. Okay. 5 of Cups. Okay, stop. We got Judgment on the bottom here, which I actually feel is quite pertinent for y'all because the tagline of this key is look back in pleasure, meaning the past. Look to your past with pleasure. If that, what I just said, doesn't feel true for you, where you feel like you can look back with pleasure, that's the whole point of this reading. Can you look back with pleasure? See how it's got the back of his head to us? What are you not looking at? What do you not want to look at? What parts of your past do not give you pleasure? When you heal them, they will. Because it's not about things that have happened and going, oh, I'm happy about that. That was a terrible time that I'm happy about. It ain't about that. It's about reframing it and going, look at what that taught me. Thank you for those lessons. Thank you, person that really hurt me, because you taught me this, for example. Aight? 10 of Cups, are you serious? Do you see this perfectly constructed house here on the back? Okay, literally was this not what I was saying? Traditionally, 10 of Cups is complete emotional fulfillment. Happy life, happy family, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I want to point out, this house is on fire, releasing. This house, do they live on the beach? So, oh my God, living their best beach water life, right? Gemini. If you let burn what wants to be cold away and released and reframed, this is what you're going towards. Your highest and best good in life. Traditionally, this is depicted with a rainbow here, and I definitely feel this rainbow energy for you. A rainbow appears after what? Yes, a storm. And I like it. And their little dog, too. It's true. Just, you know, this water here, I feel like at the heart of it is, can you look back with pleasure? That's the question that wants to be asked of you right now. Can you look back with pleasure? Okay? And it's just setting you up to receive a lot of good stuff here. That's what it is. And it is emotion-based, and it is getting clear, right? Notice when you get triggered by something and you respond as opposed to react. There's a lot of good information in that for you. Okay, I literally can't. Okay. Green Terra, start delegating. Indeed, ask others, including me, to help you instead of trying to do everything by yourself. Interesting. Ask others, including me, to help you instead of trying to do everything by yourself. Fascinating. Oh, weird. See all these rainbow colors? And I was just talking about how traditionally the rainbow is on the 10 of Cups here. Okay. I'm really drawn to the lotus flower energy here, and the fact that the lotus flower grows out of the dirt and the muck and comes out on top looking beautiful. You know, I feel like there is this aspect of delegating with and for yourself, but also I feel like this is really pertinent. And this is going to look different for different folks, but there could be people around you who have known you for a long time, or who have known you in different aspects of yourself. Remember how I said you feel very different than you did in 2019? People who've known you for more than 5 minutes, who have been there for, you know, your past self and a lot of this stuff that wants to be called away. I feel like a lot of this can be very helpful to have through conversations with others as well. And this is actually tying in really beautifully with the spider energy, with the circular web here. Remember how I said that that's about, you know, receiving, right? And giving in equal measure and equally as well. I'm hearing that a lot of you who may be, you know, in a way, a lot of this stuff just wants to stay within you, and it may go over in your mind, you may emotionally cue it or whatever have you, or I'm feeling someone who distracts themselves. I feel like for some of you, you know things need to be dealt with, or you have a feeling around it, but you choose to engage in activities that are escapist in nature as opposed to confronting it. And listen, live your life. but there's an energy here, should you want to take advantage of it, that it might, the lubricant might be talking to others about some of this stuff and getting their perspective. People who really know you well and who can speak with you, not from a place of judgment. Okay, allow people to be there for you. It's a beautiful thing, and I feel like it is the remedy here in a lot of ways. And I feel like it's going to be a good, I'm seeing like a lawnmower engine. I feel like it could be a really good, just kind of that crank of the engine for you that really gets things going in the right, or your highest and best direction, I should say. That'll clear these storm clouds up, right? Remember how I was drawn to the storm clouds and then we have the sun? Sometimes it can really be very beneficial to get someone else's perspective on something that you thought you understood, or that you thought you had a certain, like, hey, remember when I was at this job and I did this and that? Like, what was your experience of me during that time? Did I seem happy? Did I seem this? Or remember that relationship I was in? What was your perspective around that? Right? I feel like there's a beautiful medicine within that. And it doesn't mean the other person is going to be, 100% right, because there's their experience, your experience, and then reality is probably somewhere in the middle. But it's just about opening the dialogue that I feel like is going to, free you up in a certain way. And again, I think this is beautiful advice about not doing everything by yourself, but breathing some of this stuff out into the open air, right, as it were. And it's really going to help you. And I feel like that's being indicated here with the, Knight of Swords as well. Really beautiful. Gemini, there is so much good that wants to like poke through here, but it's almost as though Spirit is like, I'm going to give you this 10 of Cups, right? But again, you can only manifest this if you if you have more gratitude for what is working with these 2 of Cups here, right? As opposed to trying to reach for these 3 that have spilt. In doing that, if you just let these 3 go, focus on the 2, you get 10 more. Oh Lord, that feels, I just got the shivies. If you can release these 3, focus on the 2, you get 10 more. How's that for math? My beautiful Geminis, a very happy birthday season to ya. This 10 of Cups is where you're going. I'm really happy about it for you. I really hope that this helped and resonated. If so, please let me know in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys. And with that being said, just thank you guys so much for being here. And as always, thank you for being you, and be well. Until next time.